Welcome back. Time is 8:44. The Supreme Court is granting a Colorado therapist's request to review her challenge to a state law banning mental health care providers from engaging minors in conversion therapy. It's a practice that attempts to change a person's sexual orientation to align with their gender identity. The court's decision to take up her challenge comes after the justices previously turned away opportunities to weigh in on conversion therapy bans. The case is set up to be heard during the Supreme Court's next annual term, which starts in October.
Joining us again this morning, our chief legal analyst, Colo Rhodes. Again, this is, I feel like, the intersection of of LGBT people and religious people and the rights, the intersection of those rights there, and with the courts. How do you see this playing out?
Well, typically you have these intersections where you have converging opinions that want to figure out how can they get a resolution. And so we don't want a society where people take their resolutions to the street. We want their resolutions to be made in the court. And so they ultimately will go to a lower court, a trial court, a U.S. district court, then make its way to a court of appeals, and then ultimately attempt to make its way to the Supreme Court. We talked about in the opening how they had this case, or a case similar to this, in 2023. Well, you need 4 justices before you can get a case to go before the Supreme Court. Before cert is granted, 4 of the 9 have to do it. You only had 3 in the last time, so they didn't get 4. The case wasn't heard. But you knew that you had folks that wanted to see it. Kavanaugh, Alito, Thomas, they all wanted to hear this type of case. It was right for it to be heard at the time. And I often say this on here. You need a case with good facts. You need a law that's being challenged that has some type of constitutionality, or you need a difference of opinion in U.S. district courts. So you had that happen in this case. You have good facts. You have a law in a state that's challenged this type of thing, and you've had a court in one state say you can ban this type of speech, and you had a court in another case say that you can't. You have conflicting court decisions. Typically, the Supreme Court will step in and say, hey, we'll be the final judge. We'll make a determination of what you can and can't do.
So, Khalif, you mentioned it right there. The courts have ruled in some cases that the states can make their own decisions. They've otherwise ruled also that there is freedom of, it violates the speech rights there and violates religious freedoms rights. Where does this come down to? Because it seems like the Trump administration has erred on the side of give all the rights to states. So this kind of would go against what they're kind of pushing. Well,
I mean, when you're talking about the overall issue, let's go to abortion, for instance. That's one where they said there's no constitutional right to abortion. We're going to let each state independently determine that, right? In this case right here with LGBTQ rights, this is, again, a situation where we're letting state by state make a determination. And I think the court and the administration is still saying the exact same thing. Well, when a state makes those determinations, you still have to make determinations that are constitutional. So if you do something that violates a person's constitutional rights, specifically in this case, i.e. First Amendment rights, then it will be challenged. In this case, the doctors are saying that you're violating my rights by not allowing me to speak to a client in a manner that I would speak to. And then what are my damages? The one guy says that, well, the threat of $5,000 fines, the threat of imprisonment, the threat of losing my license has now deterred me and stopped me from getting clients that I normally would get. And because you've stopped me from getting clients that I would normally get, you've infringed on my speech, because you've chilled my ability to speak in a manner that I normally would speak in, with not having this threat over my head for me even saying one word. So I think it is right for a First Amendment conversation. And the law firm that's handling these type of cases, they do this routinely. They look for these types of cases that will challenge the constitutionality of anything that's being put on the state level.
There are other cases similar to this, parents wanting to take their kids out of public schools where there's LGBT books or something like that. So it's similar but different in other states. If these decisions are left to the states, like you were saying, Trump is allowing the states to do this. Do you see families moving around from state to state until they find a state that aligns with the majority of their beliefs?
I think that happens already. I think that folks, I mean, most of the time we talk about these federal elections having a controlling impact, but it's normally on a state, on a local level where you'll see that impact. We see it on a micro level with folks moving from urban areas to more rural areas and vice versa. You find places that you're comfortable in, and then you try to make sure that you can get the things that you're trying to do, take care of your kids, make a living, and do those things. But in a situation where this affects you on a personal level, where you have a child that wants to go through this, and you live in a state that has found a way to ban it, then the only thing you do is move to a state that doesn't, until the laws conform to where you want to live. And so I think it will have that rippling effect, and it is already doing that.
Again, our chief legal analyst, Colo Rhodes. I wish we had 30 more minutes to talk to you about that, but good news is we'll have you back in about 20 minutes to talk about something else. Again, chief legal analyst Colo Rhodes, he is earning his paycheck today. Khalif, we appreciate you. Ted.